Now I'm gonna hit record here. All right, so this is Mr. Dennis with My Wildlife Harvest, and I wanted him to come on and talk about what he's got going on with it. So fire away, buddy.
Okay, so basically, I had an app built for it's kind of like a journal or a diary for hunters, fishermen, trappers, because it all started out this winter when somebody asked me how many deer I've shot in my lifetime, and unfortunately, I don't make notches on my gun or I kept records. Yeah, I could go dig out all my deer antlers and tell you, yeah, how many bucks I've shot, but any story behind them, probably not. So this app, the way it works is once you've downloaded it. You have a 30-day free trial. After that, it's $24.95 or $24.99 a year. But once you've created an account, you can go in there and you can create any category you want. Like I've got categories for archery deer and deer with a gun and bears and turkeys and grouse, anything you want to create. You create your own category and it's only personal to you. I can't see what people create for categories as a builder. All I can see is their account that they put in, their email address and stuff like that. But after you create the account, let's say, what do you hunt the most in your life?
I'm a white-tailed deer hunter. Growing up in South Louisiana, that's pretty much all we had, unless we had alligator tags. Then moving to Oklahoma, still whitetail, but I have many more options here for because we have mule deer, we have pronghorn, you have bear, and you can draw for elk. So like, but mainly I'm a whitetail guy.
Okay, so basically, we'll say that you create a category for whitetail with a gun, and you go out and you shoot one. When you Most people, when they shoot a deer, they walk up to it after they high five themselves and all this and that. They take pictures of it. Well, if you open up this app, which is My Wildlife Harvest, and you create an event, you can take a picture of that deer. It's actually, as long as you have service, it will actually put a dot on a map where you have, and it will put an address in there. Now, the address sometimes ain't exactly because if you park on, we'll say 13 Main Street, and you walk out in the woods and you shoot a deer, it may read 24 Main Street where you shoot the deer because it's not, you're in the woods.
Yep, I understand
But
that.
anyways, after that, after you've taken a picture, well, of course you got to put in there, like how many you shot. You just fill it in one, and then you can make notes. You can write. There's unlimited amount of space for notes. Anything you want to write about the deer, the story, anything. Take that picture, then you submit it, and you have it. It's in your system now. So when you get home, you can even take more pictures. You can go into it, into the event. Instead of going into create an event, you go into my events and you click on that and you can edit it. You can add more notes. You can add more pictures. That's what's nice about it. The other part after that is it has a category. Well, it has a tab in there. This is something that I got to figure out. This is only the second time I've ever used Zoom, but I want to be able to figure out how I can share it and show it when I talk about it.
Yeah.
But but on my website, mywildlifeharvest.com website, I've got a bunch of videos that explains how it works. But you can, after it's done, we'll say, this was just created this year, just got done in August, so it's fairly new. And if you want to take the time, you can always add deer that you've shot in the past. So later on, you can click on deer gun and it will tell you how many deer you shot in the past. It'll have a count for your history, so all the years, and it'll have one for, like, I've already shot 6 deer this year, but I shot 5 with a bow and I've shot 1 with a gun. So if I go into my deer archery and I click on it, I put the 4 deer that I shot last year, so it'll say a lifetime count 9 and this year 5. So if I want to go look at the pictures of just the deer that I shot with an archery, there's a category where you just go and click on images, and then you scroll down for the category you want and click on deer archery, and it's going to show all the deer you shot with an archery that you entered in this app. So it's not like your phone where you have to, scroll down through the pictures and try to find them. With this app, you don't have to do that. You can just click on deer archery and it'll show you all the deer that you've entered into that category.
Awesome.
It's the same for every category. Now, on the other side of that, you can click on your events that you've created over your lifetime or however long you've had this app. And if you click on deer archery in the event category, it's going to show you all the events that you've created for your deer over the years. And you can just scroll down and it's going to have the date and the year that you entered that event. And if you want to go look at that one, you can click on that one and you can read up all the notes you put in it and any of the pictures you've added. So that's what makes this nice. It kind of like categorizes everything for you, so you don't have to search through your phone for that.
Awesome.
And the other thing is with this app, and you can't do this on a phone because you take a picture, but with this app, you have the ability to make notes. And it also has the position or the GPS place where you shot it and an address.
Yep.
So that's what this app is. Basically, it's a diary. I know I didn't call it a diary, call it a journal. I debated what to name it because a lot of people don't like diaries or relate diaries to hunters and stuff. So I created it and made my Wildlife Harvest name. And I advertise it as a journal when I've advertised it and stuff. But it's fairly new. It is really, I consider, inexpensive considering what people do, what hunters spend on toys that they. Have you ever bought? I asked somebody this. Have you ever bought something for your hunting and never used it, whether it was a call or a lure? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'll one up that. I've got a couple guns in my gun safe that I've bought. Hey, I'm gonna hunt this, but I've never shot them. I got a 6.5 Creedmoor that I was like, because I carry a 7 mag or a 243. I've got a couple 30-06s, but it's like I've bought 3 or 4 other rifles.
Yeah.
Put scopes on them, and they're in the safe. Never been shot. Like, got rounds for them, and my wife's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Well, it was a good deal, and I thought I'd hunt." So I've wasted way more money on and but see, like I'm a person, like I keep track of everything. Like in my phone right now, in my notes, it has every hunt I've made this year, what the barometric pressure was, what the wind was, where I was sitting, what time I got there, what time I got out, if I saw deer, what time they came. Like I'm a numbers person, and the way your app works, like being able to plug it all in with the picture of the harvest work, I like. But say you weren't successful, can you still add stuff into
You
it?
can,
You
right.
Pack it completely?
Basically, you can create an event for anything. Say
Okay.
you go deer hunting, okay, and something special happens. You don't shoot a deer, but maybe a bobcat walked right up to you or something. Basically, when you go into the create an event, you got to put it under a category. That's the only thing you got to do is pick a category, and then where it says the amount, you got to just put in a 0 there.
Okay.
And then down below you can go make notes, and you can go and take pictures if you want to add some more pictures. So basically, yes. So basically, 5 years from now, you could go into, if you say you put that in deer gun.
Yeah.
You can go into deer gun, and you can just search for, just put deer gun, and then scroll down to look for the year. That's the only thing you got to try to remember is, you're not gonna, it categorizes them by category and by year.
Okay.
So basically all you got to do is, and if you don't remember the year, all you got to do is hit on deer gun, and it's going to show you all the deer guns events you've created.
Okay.
And then if you can't remember, all you got to do is say, well, I'm going to go back to 2020 and click on this one here on, we'll say November 18th, which today is the date.
Yes.
And if it's not the one, then maybe you might have had another one in 2018 and 2020 around that same time. And then you can read up on it.
Yep.
So you don't, it categorizes it. I mean, it does need a little bit of searching. I mean, it doesn't, you can't define everything.
All right.
But yeah, you can enter anything. I mean, if you went on a hunt, a special hunt. Say you went elk hunting out west or something, and you didn't get nothing. You can create an event for your elk hunt, and then just put 0 in there for you didn't get one. So you just put 0 in there.
You can use it just like a regular diary or journal,
Right.
whatever floats their boat to call it.
Right.
And that's because I doing like I've been in construction my whole life with road companies, so we have to journal or diary everything
Yeah.
that goes on. So I don't really care what you call it, but I have to document everything. So I do the same thing with my hunts, and I tournament bass fish. So like I've got logs of, I'll go. I could probably pull a binder out somewhere in here in the shop, and it'll be from say 2018 to 2023, 5 to 7, and it might be. I might have more years for some places of, say Sam Rayburn in Texas. Every tournament that I can get that's got public information, and you go through there and I've logged it, so I know that it's going to take this to average this. Da da da. Like I'm a numbers person, so that's why I asked that. But like converting it over to the hunting side is like deer are repetition. So like usually like say you have a picture or you make a hunt and there's a decent buck comes out and it's November the 7th. Within the following year, within 24 to 48 hours, he's usually going to make the same appearance if he hasn't got killed. And that's so if you have that like you're talking about, and use it not just for the harvest, but just as a journal in general, it categorizes everything where you know exactly what dates you saw stuff. Can you import like pictures? Like, yeah, I guess you said you could. Like if you had a picture that was there, that you already had on your phone, can you move it to that app?
Yes. When you go to once you've created an event or after you've edited it, you can just go in and add a picture. And when you click on add a picture, it will say take a picture or from your phone.
Okay.
And then you just click on the phone. I mean on the one for the phone, and you just have to find it and then submit it. You have to submit it after. And that's the thing that a few people haven't done is after they've done it, you got to scroll down a little bit more and you got to hit submit, because if you don't submit it, it's not going to save it for you.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, it's not a lot of people. Before I decided to do this, because I mean, I sunk quite a bit of money into having it developed, is not a lot of people are like you. I can look, I got records of the bears I've shot in my lifetime because I've shot probably close to 20. But deer, I never kept records. Turkeys, I never kept records. So this is more, I mean, yeah, any age can use this, but I'm finding out that the younger groups, the younger generation is taking this on more than the older generation. Just because some of the people, I'm 67, so some of the people my age says, I never kept records up until now, so why should I bother now? But
right, that's what like my dad's 65, and probably the last 4 or 5 years he can tell you how many deer he's killed, but other than that, I don't know, didn't keep track of it. I've always kept track. I've got every deer that I've ever killed, the location I killed it, the time I killed it, like date and time frame, usually with if I can get it in there, and what gun I used, and then I've got a list for my sons are the same way, and when my daughter gets big enough to kill hers, she'll have her list. But not everybody's like that, and like I said, I can be a little. I'm kind of like Rain Man at times when it comes to numbers and repetitive patterns. Yeah. I like to track all that because to me it just makes it. If it, like we do stuff in repetitive patterns, animals do it too. So it's like, like I got horses. It's 1:20. They know about 3 o'clock every day they get fed, right?
Yeah.
And a 40-acre pasture. About 2:15, you walk out there and they're gonna be lined up at their buckets waiting. 45 minutes to an hour ahead of time. Deer know what time the acorns fall on certain trees. They know, like, if there's persimmons, what time they're going to be ripe. They know what they want, and once you get that documentation, and like I said, the way you've got this app developed, if you really wanted to put the time in and move pictures for like trail cameras are there where it and all that, you would have it's easier to document everything.
Right.
Look at it and it's tracked in order, I know I'm probably looking at it from a big numbers perspective, but it narrows it all down into a section there. Like, So you know, like, okay, this is when this was happening and why. So the following year, the same time frame should be there. And I'm probably looking into it at a different way. I'm looking at it instead of just as a harvest calculator, how you could actually use it to actually help you harvest apples. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
the thing is, there's a lot of there's a lot of hunting apps that you can actually do that with, some of that already.
yeah,
Some of them they don't allow you to do notes. But get back to my app. When you do create an event, it's going to save. Well, when you walk up to that deer and take a picture of it, it's going to tell you the time and the date.
Yep.
So that's one thing that you don't have to put in the notes because it's already there. The date is, the time is, and like I said, the only bad thing that we've encountered with this app is right now, and we haven't figured this out, is you have to have service to use it. If you're hunting in wilderness where you don't have service,
yes,
it won't work. So that's the only bad thing about it. But if you shoot, let's say you go elk hunting in Wyoming and you're out there and you don't have service, you can still take pictures of your phone, and you could actually, and I don't know how to do this because I'm not that smart yet, but when you take a picture with your phone, it actually, most of the phones, unless they're set up different, it will actually put in the GPS
yep,
location. So when you get back into town and you have service, you can actually go and enter that GPS. Well, you can't enter the GPS coordinates. You have to enter an area. And we've debated whether to put the GPS coordinates in there, but it's just a money thing right now. But you can go and create that event and then download all the pictures.
see,
You can adjust the time and the date. So
okay.
you can, if you shot this 5 days ago, you can go, when you create the event, you can go and put the date 5 days ago, and you can put in the time that you shot it if you want. So there is some flexibility when you don't have service, but unfortunately you need service to be able to use the app. But
Okay.
if you can document or remember when you shot it, the time and the date, you can enter that in when you create the event.
Okay.
And
Talk about, go ahead. Sorry.
And that's one of the advantages of the app where, when you create something, you can create it, overdo it or underdo it. There is one more section, but it's between $5,000 and $8,000 to add. And
Yes.
that's instead of only pictures, to be able to add videos. At this point, I need sales before I'm going to go spend another $5,000 to $8,000 to add that.
That was another thing I say. App development's not cheap either.
No, it's not.
And it takes a little time and everything, because like we've looked at some stuff like on this end, like with what I do of having an app developed, and I'm like, you better be ready to sink some money and hope that it works.
Let me tell you something. I'll give you a little piece of advice. I had this made in India.
Okay.
And if you ever want to have something done, you should write this down. Just do a search for the word Upwork, UPWORK. And there's another one, I can't think of the name of it. There's another one. This is based out of California, and they anybody that's a freelancer that wants to sign up for that, I'm sure they must have to pay or something.
Yes.
They can, that company backs everything that's on there. When I posted that I wanted an app made, and I posted it on there because somebody told me about that site, I think I had like 45 people all over the world that said, hey, I can build that for you. And, and I was upfront with people, and I says, I had some that were outrageously priced and some that were cheap. And I says, look, I don't know what this is going to cost. So I don't like a flat fee, because I says, I've never had an app built. And I says, I know in my mind what I want built, but I says, as it gets built, I'm going to probably change some stuff or add something. So that's why I maybe spent more than if I'd assigned a contract for a set price, where I signed a contract by the hour instead and paid a flat hourly rate. And I felt better doing that because I didn't want somebody to build it. And, because this company that I originally taught, they said they could build it for $6,000. as a contract price. Well, I can tell you, I went with them, but we didn't go with a contract price, and it cost me twice what they had estimated to begin with. So, but that company is a good company because they
Okay.
stand behind anybody that's on there. You don't pay anybody in India. The money goes to this company in California. It's Upwork is in California. And then they actually pay the people instead of, and I'm sure they probably take a commission.
Yeah.
I know I had to pay a commission on it. I mean, if they billed me for $400, I think I paid like $420 or something, $23. I don't remember what the
Yeah.
exact
They
amount.
charging a percentage on both sides, probably.
Oh, I'm sure they are. And I'm
Oh,
sure
that's
those
good business.
people, yeah, that's how they're making money.
Yep. So
But yeah, a
I
lot of,
actually looked into it. I appreciate you telling me that because I'll look into it because that's actually, and but yeah, that's what I wanted to see because like I saw it the other day and I reached out to you because I'm like I'm a person that I track everything like I said and like I can be I can overdo it sometimes with tracking like when it's just because like do it like I said I do construction. I've built roads for
yeah,
39. I've been doing it since I was 19. So, 20 years of experience of you track everything, whether we're doing asphalt, concrete, dirt, whatever, you have to track everything. So,
yeah,
and before that, I did outside sales while I was in college for AutoZone. So you had to track everything there too. So, and I've always been a numbers person. So like, I saw this, I read a little bit about it. I'm like, oh yeah, this definitely is like into my, like, I want to know about it. Cause like, you're tracking it. And that's the thing. Like, I like to have it and, like keep all my information because it's, I don't, it's an infatuation, I guess, at times to know that, well, I can fall back and look at it and be like, oh, well, this is what was happening on that date. Or I'm super competitive, so I look at, well, this is the earliest I've ever killed a deer. I need to kill one before then. And like
yeah.
right now, I think my earliest date's November the 4th, and that was last year. Well, this year I didn't beat my date, so now I'm like, crap, I gotta wait all the way to next year to beat my date now. So like, it's just one of those weird things. Like I'm competitive in everything I do, even like with myself. Like if I'm trying to throw rocks in a bucket, I'm griping at myself because I missed the bucket. Like so like this fits right into my wheelhouse of like, oh, it makes tracking it easier and everything. And it's like, the thing about the GPS on the pictures too, like with your regular phone, something I'll tell you, I don't know if you're familiar with it. Like say somebody sends you a picture of a buck or that they have, if it's not a screenshot of something else, like if they literally took it with their phone and send it to you, it will give, if you can swipe into it in the camera roll and it will give you the GPS coordinates of where they took that picture at. Like,
Oh, I know that, but I'm not that smart. I just got a smartphone. I've only had a smartphone for about a little over a year.
hey, it's the reason I'm saying it's like two of my buddies that I hunt with all the time. We're always cutting up. One of them went on a trip the other day with some other guys to Kentucky to public land, and it was like they were real secretive about it and everything. And then they sent us some pictures. So I swipe up, then I sent it back to them. I was like, "Hey, that's where you're at on public land." They're like, "Wait, how'd you do that?" I'm like, it's like 3 of them are nurses, 2 are like they're educated. I'm like, how did you not know your smartphone would do that? Like, like they're all young, they're younger than me. And I'm laughing because I was like, how many of these did y'all send out? Like that they killed a couple nice deer, and they're like, oh crap, I hope not everybody knows that. And I'm like, they've been going up here for like 5 years to this area they go and not telling anybody where they're at. It's a group of like 4 or 5 of them. I'm like, dude, like really? So but yeah.
But you gotta know how to do that though. I mean, I don't know how to do that yet.
Yep.
I'll learn with time. The other thing I will tell you about this app is if you lose your phone, you buy another phone, you don't lose any of this information. It's all held in a cloud, just like
a normal app. You just re-download the app on your new phone and sign into it. I figured it's password protected or like you sign in to your account.
Yeah.
All right. Something that I would have a question about. I don't know if I should ask it.
Go ahead. I learned this a long time ago. If you don't know the answer to a question, you should ask it.
Right. But like, I don't want to make it where there's a loophole too. Like, say I had it, and can I sign into it on like 2 different? You understand what I'm saying?
2 different phones, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can sign in. You can look at this on your friend's phone, but you got to just because you're going to need your password and you're going to need, you have to download that app onto their phone.
Okay.
And then you're going to have to go and sign in with your name and your password.
Your username and password. The reason I'm asking is like if it's a username and password, you could put it on this phone, then several people could sign into it, and which is not cool. But
Okay, so I'm going to answer that. We didn't make this shareable.
That's what I was
So,
trying to. Yeah.
so basically, and that the thing is, that's another cost.
Yep.
If you, right, and we're looking into that, but as I told the developer, I says, I need a year or so to see what this does.
Yep.
But yes, this could be shareable with any of your friends if you want it, but it's not shareable right now.
Well, I
So
don't think I'd want it shareable. That's why I was asking.
well,
From
if it's shareable, it's only going to be shareable with whoever you choose. But I can tell you this, okay? You know how when you take a picture with your camera, you can send it to somebody in a message or a text. If you take any of the pictures that you have in your app, my app, my Wildlife Harvest app, you can actually share it with your friends. You just click share, and basically it's going to bring up your message. How do you want to share it? And you can text it to somebody.
okay.
But you can't share your account. Nobody's going to be able to see your account.
Okay.
And on my end as a developer, what I can see on my end is the name of the person that created the account. And some people don't even use their
Real name, huh?
real name, but they do have to do one thing. I can see their email and their phone number that they created the account with.
Okay.
And it's something that it's because they don't want somebody to create an account with the same email or phone number
Okay.
and stuff. And it gives me the ability to email all these customers and ask them, any feedback.
Yeah.
I haven't done it. I've only got 56 customers right now that have actually downloaded it and registered. Some of them just did, so they haven't reached the 30 days where they paid. Some have paid. I've had I've had 8 people that's passed the 30 days that didn't pay, and I emailed them and asked them why, and I only got one reply, and they said that it just didn't interest them.
Okay.
So I'm looking for feedback. Most of the people that have it, that I've emailed or actually haven't emailed, the ones I've talked with are friends, most of them love it and stuff. I mean, not everybody's going to love this. Not everybody's going to want it, but it's for whoever wants it.
No, I understand, and it seems like it would be, like I said, helpful in a lot of ways, not just in the after the fact. Like if you go about it using it the correct way, you can utilize it to get a lot of information pulled into an area, and that's what I like about the way it is playing out. So I guess my question is, now we got the rundown of what it is, and how long ago did you decide to? You said it got hit the market about August, is what it was, a couple months back.
This app that finished the last part of August. It's only been out. Before that, I had testers that was testing it as it was being built, but the actual finalized app as it is right now was done, I think, like the 28th of August. So matter of fact, I just hired a advertising agency, a company to start advertising it, and I only hired them the last week of October. So everything that I got before that was just through Facebook. And
Okay.
I mean, I would think that I'm surprised that more people didn't download it and at least look at it. But I posted it on a bunch of hunting sites, on Facebook, and
Yes.
some of them have 40, 50,000 members. But I found out that 40, 50,000 members, sometimes there's only a few hundred of them that are actually look at stuff,
Yep.
and stuff.
All right. Well,
So,
that hits what I wanted to do on the app. Then I ask everybody a few questions. who got you into hunting? Was it you on your own? Was it a family thing? Who was your?
My father hunted. I mean, I went hunting with him. In Maine, you have to be 10 to buy a license and hunt in Maine.
Uh,
But I went with my dad when I was probably 7 or 8 years old, tagged along with him, and stuff. And when I was 10, I bought a license and I've been hunting ever since.
yes, sir.
I shot my first deer when I was 12 years old.
Yes, sir.
So that's how I got into it
All right.
because my dad was a hunter.
Makes sense. That's how I got into it, and then my kids are the same way. Then that's the important one. Then I guess hunting in Maine. Maine moose. Have you ever done it?
Yeah, actually, I shot one in 2010, and it's a lottery system.
Yep.
And I actually went hunting this year because my son got one and he shot one this year.
Awesome.
He shot one in 2009, so 15 years later he shot another one.
Okay, well that answered my next question about the next generation and having kids and getting them involved in hunting. So you knocked out my three. What I'd like
But I'll tell you this. I will tell you this though. I know you said you have a daughter that's getting, I don't know how old she is, but I know you said something
my
about
boys
getting her
are
into
12
hunting.
and 10. So I've been
My son, I didn't pressure my son.
Yep.
He didn't want to deer hunt, and I didn't pressure him. He was 12 when he decided to go deer hunting. He did shoot a deer the first day, but he didn't want to hunt when he was 10, and he didn't want to hunt till he was 11. But so I didn't pressure him.
That's how my boys are. My 10-year-old has hunted since he was 8 and loves it. My 12-year-old has been a couple times. He doesn't like it. He'll go sit in the box stand with you a little bit. He would rather fish. My 10-year-old, I saddle hunt. My 10-year-old has a saddle and hangs out the opposite side of the tree as me, and we're in the same tree together, and we hunt. It doesn't matter the weather, he's going to go. My 4-year-old, she loves her idea of hunting right now is we sit on the four-wheeler or the truck and we watch the wood line in the field here at the house, and she's hunting and she's spending time with daddy. So I'm working it, so.
Yeah.
And, so that's when I said I had to come down here to the shop to record a podcast, she was like, me go? And start trying to put her boots on. I was like, no, baby, got to record a podcast. Give us the, when they go like to see the app, is it My Wildlife Harvest? Just type that in any app supplier or what?
It's in Apple Store and it's in Google Store. Now, if they don't want to search for it, they can just go to mywildlifeharvest.com website.
Okay.
And I've got the link to the Apple and the Android links right on that page.
All right. And that'll work. Can they can get all the information from your website, or you have a Facebook page also under My Wildlife Harvest and all that, because that's where I saw it. Those are I'm trying to make sure I hit everything because I want to make sure I put your information out. mywildlifeharvest.com or My Wildlife Harvest on Facebook, and that you can get all the information you need from either one of those. And you've told us everything it does, and that's what I wanted, to get it out there and explain it to everybody, because like I was intrigued when I saw it and reached out to you, and I'm gonna end up downloading it. I just haven't done it yet because like I think I reached out to you Friday, and it's been a hectic couple days. I got a new neighbor that just moved in down the road from me, and he's been cleaning this and moving this and like, come see this, come see that. So I've been helping him set up deer stands, and it's already deer season, helping him. So it's been a hectic weekend. Like when you messaged me a while ago, I was like about the link. I was like, oh crap, I didn't do it. Like, so I appreciate it, because I would have forgotten, looked like a jackass, and I apologize for that.
So let me ask you this: how did you hear about my app?
I saw it on Facebook under where I guess you'd advertised it. So I reached out to you to give you another platform of being able to advertise it, because that's like, hey, come on here and talk about it, because I want to know about it. But that way all my listeners that may have not have seen it will hear about it. So that way, because it's the easiest way for me to learn about it is to talk to you about it. And if you're going to talk to me about it, we might as well record it and let everybody else hear about it too that wants to hear about it. So that's how I look at things.
Well, I do know this, and I don't know yet how to do it, but I know it would have been good if I knew how to do this, how I can share my screen, and I could have walked you through.
Hey,
but this is only the second time I've ever used Zoom, so.
When you learn how to do it, let me know, because I'm not entirely sure how to do it, or I'd have tried to. But let me know, and we'll get together and do another one, and do it where we can put all the like more information out. You're welcome to be on anytime. We don't have we can talk about this. We can talk about Maine moose hunting. We can talk about anything. I just like to talk hunting and outdoors. So
Yeah.
definitely anytime you want to hop on, you're more than welcome. We know how to contact each other now. Yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna start winding this one down for us, and we got all the information there that we need, and pause here. I think I did that. Let's see, that's paused. Then I got one more thing to pause. As soon as I find it, with whatever I did. There we go. Now, I don't do the best on, sometimes I'm not the best at, electronic devices either. So it ain't age. It's us. Like, sometimes I have to, like, don't think because you're 67, like, and I'm 40, 39, about to be 40, that I know more. No, sometimes I have to go to my kids, like, what the heck?
I was just gonna say, go to your 12-year-old. They probably know more about it than I do.
I come out here and record a podcast one day and it's never acted up, and like nothing would work. And I couldn't figure out what to do with it. I'm unplugging mics, switching headphones, nothing's working. He walks here, he's like, Dad, did you just try unplugging it? And I'm like, that is not what I should do. Like, like he unplugs it, plugs it back up. I'm like, you little, like, but that's what I should have did to start with, but I tried to do the right things and it didn't work.
Yeah.
But, all right, well, we'll hop off of here, and I appreciate your time, buddy. Like, super.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm gonna download it and play with it because I enjoyed getting to learn about it, and I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, buddy. Bye-bye.
Bye.